guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Petersburg because guess what? We have the epitome of the full-size luxury SUV. What the heck is it? It's this vehicle right here. This is your Rolls-Royce Cullinan. But before we get into this large and in charge luxury SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So Rolls-Royce, they've always been known for building the ultimate in engines, whether it's airplanes, whether it's boats or automobiles. Besides that, when you hear the name Rolls-Royce, you know you better get your bottle of Grey Poupon because luxury and extravagance has been brought to a higher level. Now, this is the only SUV that Rolls-Royce has ever made to date. And what's fascinating is that when you look at all the other key players in the full SUV segment, I'm not so sure any of them can hold a candle to this vehicle. So what I want to find out is, if you're willing to just blow your 401k, sell everything you have, and cash in, do you go Rolls-Royce Cullinan? And is it the best ever full-size luxury SUV? Let's go ahead. Let's dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, the shape. It's interesting that something so large can still have the distinctive body lines of a Rolls-Royce. Now at the front of the business, you'll see how they work their signature headlight housing, sunken into the bodywork, full LED projector beam headlights, LED turn signals. As we work our way down, you have functionality in the center with the venting and down in the lower corners, not only for the heat exchangers, but also for a functional air curtain. Now, what I like about this Rolls-Royce Cullinan, it doesn't go too crazy with the bling-blinging shiny chrome finishes. Just a little horizontal bar on the bottom. Of course, you have adaptive air ride suspension to make it feel like you're riding on a cloud. And then as we come across that center grille, this says it all. Rolls-Royce, the double R, all that history, forward-facing camera, our traditional vertical slot grille with that chrome blinginess to it, and then the celestial white paint job and more functionality on the lower lip. I like the way they bring a little bit of silver finish on that lower lip, but definitely a very, very distinctive, probably one of the most distinctive front end grills in automotive history. Now, as we take the elevator up, there she is, the Spirit of Ecstasy, that sign of the elegance and the opulence of Rolls-Royce. Of course, if you mess with the Spirit of Ecstasy too much, she will actually drop down and be nice and safe so that nobody doesn't steal your, oh, there it went. She's in her home, so nobody steals her and then sort of wears her as a necklace. I remember there were some kids back when I was in middle school that would take the Mercedes logo, the hood ornament right off, and they would wear it around their neck. And then it's like, duh, you just stole that. But nobody's gonna take your Spirit of Ecstasy away. I love this celestial white. It's a nice satin white finish, really shows the body lines, all the work and design into the hood, and how it has that big step down into the fender. Now, as we swing it around wide around that front end, what do we got going on here? You got your Rolls-Royce center cap, nice machined aluminum wheels, 22-inch wheel. Interesting on the design, it's the first Rolls-Royce Cullinan wheel that I've seen with this particular design. Let me know if you're digging it. I think it looks very modern. You have a massive gloss black Brembo caliper, and then of course rotors the size of manhole covers to slow this beast down because she is not light whatsoever. But tires, all four corners, 255 on the width, 45 series sidewall. Of course, it's rear-wheel drive base, and it does have power going to the front wheels as well. Love the nice clean. Look how clean that is with no venting, fake vents. You're gonna have your traditional Rolls-Royce badge with the side marker light. And then that beautiful celestial white on the mirror caps, power folding mirrors. 360-degree cameras. You have bright, shiny metalwork top and bottom of the window openings, but I think one of the things that I like about the side of this vehicle is no roof rails. So no exposed roof rails, really gives it a clean look. You got your chrome finish along the bottom, and then of course we have the suicide doors that open up in that reverse. Now, the reason why they call them suicide doors is because back in the day, if you jumped out of the car without looking, you'd be run over. That's where that comes from. And then of course we have those automatic closing doors, which is great. Seals right up. Coming towards the rear, love the nice crisp lines. The way that they take the bright metalwork and kind of flare it at the back. Another thing that's very fascinating is that if you were to get on your tippy toes and be able to see the roof, it doesn't have any welds. It's all one solid piece. That gives you that cocoon. You're like a caterpillar in this thing going down the road, totally silent, and then when you open up the doors, you're a beautiful butterfly. Isn't that sweet? Same thing like on the headlights, they have that traditional sunk in taillight, full LED of course. We get to the back. I like the way it's got the Rolls-Royce badge very prominent and the way they actually extend the body lines for that badge. No exposed wiper, it's nicely tucked in with that long, low roof spoiler. And then working our way down to ground level, you do have functional exhaust outlets with the chrome trim rings. And I like the way that they brought this aluminum finish to the bottom of the bumper, just like we started out front. But let me know what you think about this compared to an Escalade or a Navigator when it comes to style. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what the heck is powering this Cullinan. All right guys, we got that massive hood open. Very interesting how the bonnet is just that center section, and then you have the fenders which stay pinned to the body. Underneath the hood, check it out. You got this beautiful strut tower brace that helps stiffen up the front end. You can actually see the air lines for our adaptive air ride suspension. And then there it is, twin turbocharged V12. It's a 6.75 liter V12 twin turbocharged. So what type of power are we looking at? We're looking at 563 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 4.3 seconds. Top speed is governed to 151 miles an hour. MPGs, if you really need to know, you're looking at the wrong car because it's 12 MPGs in the city, 20 on the highway. And when you think about the performance of this, 0 to 60 in about 4.3 seconds, remember that the Rolls-Royce Cullinan weighs 6,086 pounds. But such a piece of artwork, the way that engine compartment is so well organized and just spotless. Let's go ahead though, let's fire up this Rolls-Royce Cullinan and hear if it even makes any sound. All right, guys, lifestyles of the rich and famous. This is how they roll down the road. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I just won the lottery. I want to really let everybody know that I have money. I went out and bought 15 Rolexes last night. I didn't even buy them off the gray market. I bought them from the Rolex dealer. How much is this Rolls-Royce Cullinan? Well, congratulations on winning the lottery, you lucky SOB. MSRP for these are over $400,000. This particular one is marked at $339,000 because it's a 2022 model year vehicle. But let's see what you get when you hit it big in the lotto. To the door panels. Look at all the fine details. The two-tone leather. It's interesting. It's like a dark black leather, but then you have this pumpkin pie colored leather as well. The spirit of Ecstasy embossed on the side there. Of course, we have the premium sound system with the aluminum speaker grill covers. I do have to zonk, why are they putting gloss black around the switchgear? That's just gonna get a lot of fingerprints. But then you'll notice on the open pore wood, you have heated seats, ventilated seats, massage seats, those buttons easily accessible, and then a door pocket that's large enough for a couple Maine lobster dishes. Not just the tail, but the whole lobster with the two-tone and the stitching. Now going from the door belt to the dash, love the wood finish and the way they got that nice natural grain in there. Even the way they do the trim up top. This is the switch gear. Open and close the vents, and you got these beautiful vents that look like they're right out of a jet airplane. The Cullinan badge with your analog clock. And then the other zonk, which this is probably the biggest, is you have the old operating software. So you have a 10.25 inch infotainment system screen, quite small compared to today's standards. And then the other issue is this is the older multimedia software from BMW, because remember, BMW owns Rolls-Royce. That to me is a disappointment. The nice thing that I like though is what's specific is when you go into my vehicle, of course, when it comes to Spirit of Ecstasy, you could raise and lower her right from the screen, which is a nice touch. I like to leave it on automatic so that when you shut the car off and lock the doors, she drops down and nobody steals her, or even has an opportunity to steal her. Let me throw it into reverse. Clear resolution on the cameras. You do have trajectory. You got park assist, obviously 360 camera, which is great as well. If you're wondering what am I pushing, this is the little electric shifter on the steering column for the 8-speed automatic. More of that wood finish. This big thing is not a clown nose. This is actually your volume knob. I wish the knobs had a little bit better feel. Get into an LC500 and turn that volume knob and then turn this one. This one feels like it's from Walmart, or let's say Target. Target, since this is a Rolls-Royce. Same thing on the AC controls. They feel pretty good, but not fantastic. I do like the way they have soft, medium, high, and max. We're gonna go a little bit higher on the AC. There's more of your seat controls, heated steering wheel. You adjust the temperature very easily by adjusting these wheels. Open pore wood. Look at the way they did the grain in there. They got that herringbone design very nicely done. Open it up. You got your two cup holders. You got your direct drive control knob with the Spirit of Ecstasy. Something that I'm sure everybody's going to use in their Cullinan, off-road mode. Open this guy. This is where you're going to put one of your Rolexes because it's got the felt lining in it. Here's your key fob, dark chrome finish, the pumpkin pie leather. Open this bad boy. I'm sad. This should be actually a vented, basically a cooler. Should be a vented air-conditioned cooler for your drinks. But you do have wireless charging, and you got enough room in there, I would say, for 5 Hostess ding-dongs. I think you can get a couple ding-dongs in there. And then you have a nice little tray in the back for 2 Twinkies. But like I said, it's all felt lined, and it's not ventilated, it's not chilled. Seats, look at this. The fine leather, the piping, the Rolls-Royce embroidery, the perforations, the real estate for your body is just massive with these seats. You got all your power seat controls, and then there is no sunroof or panoramic sunroof or panoramic roof, period. It's a solid roof, and what this one has is the optional stargazer lighting, all the little stars twinkling as you're driving down the road. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Rolls-Royce Cullinan. All right, guys, business time. Behind the wheel, you have this beautiful, shiny chrome sill plate with the Cullinan name and the Rolls-Royce badge, illuminates at night. Pedal box, nice aluminum dead pedal, aluminum brake pedal and throttle. And then you have your seat control buttons. You could adjust the seat 20 different ways from Sunday. I love the size of the seat real estate on here. Plenty for all body types. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here, especially with the leather wrapped headliner with those twinkling stars. And then the steering wheel, leather all the way around, leather on the horn button. You do have the wood finish. The one thing it just feels cheap is the switch gear. This gloss black and this chrome finish just looks cheap to me. But I do like where they have the start-stop button and all your other adjustments for your lights, power tilting and telescoping steering wheel, and then a very clear and concise dash display with your speedometer in the center. And then you do also have a head-up display as well. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat and see if you rather have somebody drive you around as your chauffeur in this Cullinan sitting in the back. All right, guys, back seat time. And I'm telling you, other brands can say that they have a mid-row that's like an executive package or pampering package. Nobody does it like Rolls-Royce. I barely feel like I'm even sitting. I feel like I'm just suspended in midair. That's how comfortable it is back here. Now, on the backs of the seats, first of all, you're gonna notice you have AC vents everywhere in here in the frame with those nice push-pull switch gear. And then you push this button, you have your wood, open pore wood lunch tray. This is where you can have your Lunchables. And then on top of that, you also have your monitor back here as well. Very high end. It's just the graphics look very dated. It really does. But you can see just how seamless everything is. Of course, you have a pocket down here for Forbes magazine, your Moneymaker magazine. Look at the chrome down below with air coming out the vents. Even the frame rails for the seats are chrome. And then you look at the center stack here, you got your AC controls. Same as before, soft, high, max. And then down below you do have a 12 volt and you have a place to plug in headsets. And these are ventilated and heated seats on top of that. Now sitting here, it feels really good. I got full power seats. Just phenomenal how I can make all the adjustments. Press this button. Look at this, you got your direct drive control knob, just like you do up front with the Spirit of Ecstasy. Open this guy up. This is where you're gonna put all of your Yeti cans and bottles. And then this one, where the wood is, open it up. You do have your chill box. 2 stages of chill. This is where you're gonna keep your Hawaiian Punch, your High C, your Juicy Juice, and you're just gonna have a freaking party back here. But look at the seats, the leather. This is a Stephen Flood approved headrest. The softness of this, it actually has goose feathers in there that are hand plucked from the biggest geese. Because goose, singular, geese, plural. Why don't we go ahead though, let's get in that cargo area because I want to take you for a ride in this Cullinan. All right guys, time to get in the cargo area. Of course, you're probably gonna have your chauffeur or your butler doing this for you, but if you need to do it yourself, you hit the button. It's got that lower area that opens up power-wise into a nice little loading dock, and then you just notice the carpet. I almost want to lay in this thing and just rub my face all over this wonderful carpet. You have over 23 cubic feet of space back here. The seats do not fold down, and you'll notice that even the floor mats, this shag carpet, it reminds me of my grandmother's carpet when we used to live in Brooklyn in her home. Not my favorite color, and I almost feel guilty even putting my feet on it. So that's why I put all the floor mats back here. But you can see how they seal off the back with the glass. This is actually nice thick glass to not let any sound enter the inside. Plus, you have 2 nooks on both sides for your luxury Twinkies and some Grey Poupon. Supposedly Grey Poupon on a Twinkie tastes fantastic. I don't know, I don't have that kind of money like this thing, so I'll never probably be able to taste that. But if you have had that, let me know. But why don't we go ahead, it's now that time. Why don't you ride shotgun with me and we're gonna go for a little spin in this Rolls-Royce Cullinan. All right guys, we have left Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete. We're inside this 2022 Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and just right away, the experience it provides when it comes to being pampered is second to none. I mean, you don't hear a peep of anything outside the interior of this vehicle. Not a peep. You don't hear wind, you don't hear road noise, you don't hear anything. Now, remember, that air ride suspension, adaptable. There's a camera up front that's actually measuring what the bumps are like out in front of you while you're driving, and then it's retuning the suspension to give the most comfortable driving experience. Getting to that dated infotainment system is well within reach. I just wish that they would update it. It's been like that for years now. Even on the new Cullinan, it's still the same infotainment system. But driving this really makes you feel like $1 million because it's just comfortable. It's smooth. It has that kind of presence to it that just gets people's attention. You can't go down the road in this without getting people's attention, especially in this particular color. You would think the white, oh, it's probably too bland. No. Everybody's looking. You got rear wheel steer. That makes especially those mall parking lots or Rodeo Drive or Beverly Hills Boulevard, wherever you're at, it makes driving this large SUV very, very easy. And then of course you have plenty of torque and power from that twin turbocharged V12. It's almost like my brain doesn't even logically have any existence into saying twin turbo V12. You don't say that much in the automotive industry today, that's for sure. But brakes feel fantastic with their large size. And then we're gonna go on throttle. You ready? On throttle. All that power getting down to the ground through that sophisticated all-wheel drive system. And then, like I said, the ease of driving this vehicle, really, really smooth, very capable, and just everything that you could possibly want in an SUV. Backseat passengers get it the best because you have the cooler back there, the cool box, you have an area for all sorts of champagne flutes and wine glasses and everything else. But of course, your kids aren't going to be drinking that. I hope not, at least. They should be drinking good old H2O and maybe some juice. And that's about it. But just seeing that spirit of Ecstasy, the decent size head-up display, it just, it feels really, really fantastic in here. And it's funny because you think, okay, you've driven an Escalade, you've driven a Navigator, you've felt these high-end vehicles, maybe a BMW X7, but once you get into this, you say to yourself, wow, they're not even close. And they shouldn't be, right? At an MSRP of over $400,000, they better not be close to this. But just a really interesting driving experience that separates it from the rest of the pack. You don't even feel the engine running, even with the 12 cylinders and the 2 turbochargers. That's how good this thing is. But we're gonna go ahead and get back to Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete. I need to have them park this back because it worries me a little bit with what the price of this vehicle is. But we're gonna get back there and wrap this one up, so I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, champagne wishes and caviar dreams here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete. Definitely got to thank Miro and the rest of the crew getting us access to this celestial white Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Let me know what you think. Is this the best luxury SUV ever built? Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Need to give it up, Stephen Flood Photography, working that camera like a champ. Show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.